Today, I just got back from returning this suit to the store. So I just got in like 3 minutes ago. So, I was kind of on the run today. I had a little bit of time in between appointments. So I'm still be wearing my coat because I just like wearing it. It makes me feel very comfortable. But today, let's talk about our free training, how a mentorship student got another client for $24,000 per year. So I come to you guys today to be able to share this with you, to kind of, to give you guys some encouragement, give you guys some strategy, give you guys some understanding of like what it actually takes to be successful inside this business. Now, back when I was getting started in 2015 with my accounting, bookkeeping, and CFO business, um, we didn't have a lot of people who were like teaching stuff like this, right? Everything was kind of more of like you do things by like trial and error. So the internet wasn't really understood that much, and there wasn't really a lot of like social media savvy as what there is today. So nowadays you have people like myself who help you guys grow and help you guys like learn stuff. Now, we do this for free inside of our Facebook group to kind of like share the message and give people like a preview into what it's like to actually work with us inside of our programs. And like for people like maybe been watching some of our videos in the past, or maybe you've like are trying to start your business or you're thinking about starting your business, but just not quite going the way you want, or there's a lot of obstacles kind of in your way that are stopping you or slowing you down from reaching your goals. If that's you, I just invite you to go ahead and click on the link inside the description, book a call with myself or a member of my team to see if we can help you inside like one of our training programs. We have a couple different ones, and we want to see which option like is the best fit for you. But attacking this thing first and foremost. So if you're watching this thing with me live, type in hashtag team live. Okay, when you do that, the reason why I'm asking for you to do that is because it allows me to be able to make these more interactive because I can ask questions, I can like chat, I can talk. Someone put in live inside the comment already. So good to see you. Really excited to talk to you and really excited to kind of like see watch this thing. If you're watching this thing on the replay, type in hashtag team replay. I'm going to actually give you a free either training or something like some kind of gift to say, hey, thank you for catching on the replay. So I know like sometimes if something's not live, there's not as much like incentive for you to watch it. So if you're taking the time to do that, I really appreciate you. So number one, how did this student actually go and get this client? So number one, it starts with about knowing what your value is and understanding that you need to be thinking about how to build systems of clients, not just how to go and get one or two clients. I was talking to a gentleman, and the person was saying like he wanted to get like one client. I just want to get like my first client. And there's a lot of people that are like kind of like sharing and teaching like get your first client. But what that causes you to do is it causes you to actually take on methodologies and marketing tactics that are more based on scarcity, that are based on success, consistency, and having more of a long-term thriving business. So oftentimes what happens is most people like they'll like do a bunch of like networking events, they'll like talk to a million people, they finally get one client, but it's like 6 months before they can go get their next client. The reason why is they didn't build it in a way that was going to build on itself. Versus the way that we like to grow or think about our business is generally about number one, learning how to utilize LinkedIn or utilize like social media, and then being able to utilize that to be able to start building a network, right? So maybe let's say you have like 300 people that know you exist, are following you, and like are like talking to you, but they haven't purchased yet. Now, that is much easier for you to be able to go and turn into like 5, 6 to 10 clients than it is for you to go to like 100 different networking events. Because if the people are qualified and you build those relationships, you can educate them on why they need your service right now. And the only thing you really have to focus on is just like how do you really increase that urgency of them wanting to actually work with you and wanting to actually take action and move forward with you. So that's kind of why I like thinking about like social media and partnerships. Now, I also like partnerships because you put in one unit of time and it gives you, one, two, three, four, 40 different consultation calls. And whenever you have a partner, your goal is to try and get them to send you between 1 to 10 consultation calls per year. That's all you need, 1 to 10. And then you just start stacking partners. So if you know that on average your partners give you 3 consultations over the course of the year, if you get 10 partners, you're going to get 30 consultation calls on average. Now, when you have 30 consultation calls, getting to 6 figures is generally very, very easy. Because think about it. If you're charging at least $500 per month, that means that it takes about 20 clients for you to get to like 10K per month or the 6 figure range. Technically 17 if you're just going for like just barely hitting like 6 figures, right? So with 30 consultation calls, it's very, very simple for you to get that, right? Because as long as you're just closing at a very acceptable rate, for us it's about 50 to like 75% is kind of the rate that we shoot for our students in our program. But if you just hit that, at minimum, if you do 30 calls 50%, that's 15 clients minimum, right? So let's say that you're going averaging about, let's say your average client is paying you $700, right? Times 15, you're already making over $10,000 per month. So that's why it's like just focusing on that. Now, this student in particular, he was able to go and get the first client. This is actually one out of four clients. So the first one was a $2,000 per month client. Basically, what he did was he partnered with this like financial advisor. Now, the financial advisor knew someone who had a it was a pretty successful business, and the guy ended up paying Paul like $2,000 per month. But then on top of that, the person who referred the financial advisor also referred Paul to this like CPA firm, right? And CPA firms are cool for like certain different reasons, but they basically like subcontracted a client to him. That client was subcontracted for about $1,500 a month. So Paul's making $1,500 per month, right? So it's 2,000 from the client from the financial advisor plus $1,500 a month from this person. Said hi in the comments. Hello, person in the comments. I really appreciate. I can't quite see your name, so I get all it says is like Facebook user. So I appreciate you, showing up to the live video and talking. But so now that's about what is that $3,500 per month. This firm, the CPA firm that was subcontracting, actually dissolved. So then what happened was Paul actually got three clients from him. So he got one for $1,500 per month, he got one for $2,000 per month, and one for $750 per month from that same firm. So it all starts with a partnership, right? So that's four partnerships or four clients from one partnership. So first things first, you identify who is like the right partner for you, and they directly give you a client. They have one. But then the real magic is that residual effect of them keep giving you more and more clients, right? So he gave them the CPA contract through a referral. And then once you have that, now it's time to really work your magic, right? Because in a lot of cases, if you're working either with a CPA firm or with like some kind of firm that's already inside the accounting field, they already have a lot of clients they could give to you or could refer to you. It's just most people do not really understand how to get people to want to help them out, right? So what ends up happening is they do stuff like maybe you like call like a million CPA firms, and then the person's just like, oh, they hang up on you like immediately, like they immediately hang up on you, right? And that's really kind of discouraging. Right? And that's going to happen a lot if you don't understand how to actually go and like do conversations correctly. So we generally do not do any cold calling, whether it's for direct clients or for CPA firms. We do not really believe in doing cold calling. Someone asked, "Is this going to be recorded?" Yes, this is recorded inside of our Facebook community. It's also going to be stored inside of like my YouTube channel as well. Um, so you should see it there. Now, lost my train of thought for a second. You know, growing your business is a very interesting thing. Because when you have the right strategy and you have like the right tactics, you don't necessarily need to work as hard, but you get way more results, right? To most people, like what happens is like they'll try and cold call CPA firms because like they want to feel like they're doing stuff. And then, don't get me wrong, like cold calling these CPA firms, like that can work. And like if you have nothing else, like you just have a phone, that's all you have. Like yeah, you can go cold call like 100, 200 of these like places, and like you'll eventually get like a referral. Yes, but we like to do things that have more leverage, right? So it doesn't take as much time. We can build a list with like hundreds of these people at the same time. So when we start getting our consultation calls lined up, we have a bunch, right? So it's not just like we spend like 6 months to a year working one relationship and hoping that person gives referrals. We are using the law of large numbers and law of averages to help us be able to grow the business and really have that consistency inside of our business, right? And the next thing is like whatever path you choose, like if you do something like this, like you have to stay in the game for more than 90 days. I was talking to one of my friends, and um he owns like a networking association, right? It's basically like an online networking association where they have like a membership fee. And he was saying on average, the average person stays inside of his networking community for, I believe it's 3 months. It's about 90-ish days, give or take a couple days. And I was like, that makes total sense. But I asked, I was like, well, why is this? Just because all he does is it's just like a networking event, right? And he was saying, well, most people generally like they go out of business in 90 days. It's not because they run out of money or because business is hard. It's just that they get distracted or something comes up or, some kind of life event happens or there's like a major holiday and they kind of like lose speed. And I was like, it makes sense. Like most people can't stay focused on something for like 90 days, right? If you can just stay focused on something for like 6 months, a year, you'd be in a dramatically different place than like most people where it's like, day number 60, oh, it didn't work. Business doesn't work for me. I can't make this thing work. I'm not, oh, and then you kind of get, discouraged. Instead, like, you need to expect, like, unless you're like doing something where it's like a very, very proven kind of process, if you're just figuring stuff out on your own, like, you're probably not going to have sense. No, you're probably not going to have success for at least like the first like 120, days. Like business is more of a marathon. It's not really a sprint. But the way most people who are like regular civilians think of business is that it's this like sprint. You just work really hard, and all of a sudden you're at like a huge revenue goal. It's not like that. It's just kind of like you're building a body of work. You're like it's almost like going to the gym, right? And like trying to be like a bodybuilder. Like it's like you have to keep doing the same exercise over and over and over again. And as long as you're doing it right, then eventually you're gonna get the result. If you're doing it wrong, like it's gonna all bets are off. But if you're doing things correctly and you're actually like applying the right strategies and you're making small traction every single day, you're gonna look back and you're gonna just be like, wow, I didn't even realize. Like the first year that I did like six figures in my business, it didn't even feel like I was doing six figures, right? It was just more of like you look back like, oh, I guess I made a lot more money than what I thought I was. Because like every single day I was talking, I was building my relationships, I was doing consultation calls, I was talking to clients, I was moving faster, I was trying to like post on social media, I was doing like I was doing so much different things, but my entire focus, like outside of like my family, like it was just focused on, okay, let's grow, let's do this, okay, let's move. And I didn't want to necessarily be a millionaire overnight, right? Like the $1 million comes, right? But it just you can't go out just thinking, okay, 90 days. If I'm not a millionaire in 90 days, I'm done, right? It has to be a long term thinking. Long term thinking is so important, and also because like in this business, most people who are actually going to sign up with you and actually going to like pay you a higher price point, in a lot of cases, are going to say no to you. They basically you do a consultation call. Like sometimes they say they're interested, but then they'll give like some kind of weird objection, like your price is too high, or it's like they need to kind of think about it. It's like, well, why would someone need to think about it, especially if they've been telling you for like the last like 45 minutes to an hour they needed your help, right? It's oftentimes like there's something hidden. Or in some cases they just might have like a bunch of like mind trash that stops them from actually like doing the stuff that's needed in order for them to like move forward in their business. And just because someone's making like 1 million, 2 million, $3 million per year in their business, like it was like a huge construction business, right? Just because someone's making $5 million per year and like in take home for themselves does not mean they're the ultimate like best decision makers, right? Like they just do everything perfectly. It's not like that. It's just that they understand how to use business and they're just very good at business, right? So in some cases, like they might make a bad decision and like in terms of like hiring you or not working with you, right? So oftentimes you have to utilize time and relationship and follow up to get them to actually come back and sign up with you. And that could take it from like 3 months to like 6 months for them to actually come back, right? But if you're focused on like a 90-day chunk, you're gonna miss out on like a majority of the people actually gonna sign up with you. So you have to at least assume it's gonna take like 120, 180 days just for you to start hitting your stride consistently, right? So it's just like that's kind of the level of intensity. Like as we kind of talked about in the story, like the first client was 2K, and yeah, that client did come really quickly. Like after we got his referral partner, it did come. Like you didn't have to like do a bunch of objection handling. The person was just ready to go because it was a referral. But the next three, right, the 1,500, the 2,000, the 750 per month client, respectively, those guys came 6 months after because the CPA firm was subcontracting, then they dissolved. That means they went out of business. They just stopped working together. Right? I think two out of the three of the partners retired. Right? So that's when he got it, but it's a long period, right? So I mean, at the end of the day, what is that? That's 2,000 plus 1,500 plus 2,000 plus 750, right? That's $6,200 in monthly recurring revenue. That means every single month, Paul received a check for 6,250 every single month. What was that times 12? That is $75,000 per year. But it took him 6 months and about 6 months in total for him to actually go and achieve that level of income, right? And then once he got to like 11,000 a month, it didn't take him very long, but he had a long-term focus. He knew he was going to be doing this for like the next like 5, 10, in some cases 15 years to be able to do it. When you have that kind of goal, you'll be so surprised how fast you reach your destination versus people like, I got to make it in 90 days. If I don't make it in 90 days, I'm done. Right? Those are, for lack of better word, the guys that really don't make a name, right? Now, just because we are having a long-term focus does not mean that we are not really trying to grow, right? Just because you're not in a rush does not mean that you're not trying to grow and you're not moving forward, right? I'd rather be moving forward at a very deliberate pace than just kind of like running around with like my head cut off like I'm a chicken, just running and running and running and running, but never really making much positive traction towards my goal. If you want to be able to go and get like the right strategy, I know like we kind of touched on it today and we kind of talked about like the story of it, but if you actually want to know the step by step what to do to go and grow your business, and you're tired of maybe trying to do this stuff on your own, but maybe it's just not quite working, or it's like you see other people, like you see my other students in like my program, like they're outpacing you, like they're just going faster. It's not by magic, it's just we have a very proven process to help people grow in a very consistent manner. So if you want to avoid a lot of the trial and error, or maybe like you've been haven't gotten a chance to get started yet because like there's just so many different things that are kind of like in your path or that are overwhelming you. If you either want to speed up your progress or if you want to get started with your business, go ahead and click on the link inside the description. Book a call with my team to see if we can help you out inside of my programs. Right? We have a number of different programs, so we have to kind of see which one is a good fit for you, if any. Like in some cases, like it might not be a good fit for you to do any of our programs. But if there is one that's a fit for you, we're just gonna kind of show you like, okay, this is what it looks like for us to work together. This is why we think it's gonna help based on like the answers you kind of given us. Here's the path, and then here's like the cost and the pricing information. If you feel like it's a good fit, you can pull the trigger right then and there, and then we're off to the races. We can go and actually like solve your goals together. If that's what you want to like go and learn more about, go ahead and click on the link inside the description. Either book the call. Love to speak to you. Love to learn more about you. Love to see if we can help you out. If it's a good fit, we'll let you know. If it's not, I'm going to let you know that also. I'll give you some resources and like point you to the right direction. So if that's you. I'll see you on the call. If you're not quite ready, that's okay too. We'll see you inside of the next video. Take it easy. Talk to you soon.